Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Yirong Jin, and today I'll be going over what I wish I knew before starting college applications. So I've already done my early applications as well as my UC application, and so today I'll be going over a number of tips and tricks that I think everyone should know before starting their college applications. This is today's agenda, and basically I have 11 tips in total that I will be sharing with you guys today. And this basically will range from, deadlines, essays, what you should be doing on your applications in general. So watch till the end because all these tips will help you out. I'll also be having timestamps linked in the description below, as well as the link to this Google Slides. And without further ado, let's get started. The first tip I have for you guys is to just start your college applications early. You're gonna have like very little time to work on your college applications while trying to balance your schoolwork because senior year is just as intensive as junior year, if not even harder. And you're also gonna be continuing your extracurricular involvements. And so the solution is to just start during the summer. You should work on your personal statement and have a strong draft finish before senior year starts. You should also have a full list of extracurricular activities as well as your honors and awards. And you should also work on your UC applications and finish your 4 PIQs if you are applying to UCs. And so all in all, just make the most of the amount of time you have during the summer and just get on top of everything. And I know a lot of you guys will be watching this video by the time it's already like midway through college application season. But just don't worry, as long as you just forcefully try to find the time to work on your applications, as well as just not procrastinating at all, you should be able to finish all your college applications on time. Number 2, spend proper time researching colleges. The biggest mistake I see students making when applying for colleges is just not knowing what they are talking about at all. When making a college list, don't just focus on prestige. You should also be focusing on what they can offer you, including specific programs, classes, opportunities, all that good stuff. You should also be looking at the campus location and look at their available majors and see if yours is on that list. You should also consider if they are test optional or test mandatory, and if your SAT score is in the 50th percentile or if it's lower than average. Especially now that most top schools are becoming test mandatory, it's important to know if your SAT score is even good enough for those schools in the first place. So consider the fact that your SAT score could either harm you or benefit you depending on which schools you apply to and whether they're test optional or test mandatory. Also, many colleges will have a Why Us essay, which requires you to properly know what that school offers. So it's really helpful to just do research beforehand. And finally, just as a concluding statement, do your research or you will regret it. Most of your time should be spent on researching as well as essay writing. Tip number 3, know the deadlines for financial aid. Financial aid deadlines are really crucial to know, especially if you're someone who requires lots of financial aid. And so for early decision, early action, or restrictive early action applicants, you will typically have an earlier deadline to submit all your financial aid information. So get your FAFSA and CSS profiles done on time, as colleges will be requiring them. And even if you aren't applying early to anywhere, having these financial aid forms done on time is ideal, as you don't want any delays with your college application. And the reason why I say this is because with FAFSA and CSS, because there's so many students applying for these, there could always just be delays out of nowhere. I also want to emphasize that for early applicants, if you do get accepted into your school, you will receive your financial aid package along with your acceptance letter. And so when you do receive that financial aid package, make sure to properly review it and decide if you want to appeal it or not as quickly as possible, as financial aid offices close in late December due to winter break. The next step I have for you guys is to ask for recommendation letters early. Most colleges will require 1 or 2 teachers, typically 2, maybe even 3, for your letter of recommendation, as well as a counselor recommendation. And so ask your teachers and counselors for recommendation letters early, because many will only take a limited amount of students to write a recommendation for, so you want to ask them as quickly as possible. And ideally, ask everyone you want to write your recommendations within the first month of school. And within the first week of school is even better, or even within the first day of school. And so if you're applying early decision, early action, or restrictive early action, make sure your teachers and counselors know about the deadlines too, as they will have to submit it within those deadlines. Also, for your teacher recommendations, most colleges will just be asking for 2 in total, and preferably one should be a STEM teacher while the other should be a humanities teacher. But don't worry, as it won't hurt you to have 2 humanities or 2 STEM teachers, but ideally you want 1 STEM teacher and 1 humanities teacher. Number 5, don't be afraid to try out ideas. So when you're brainstorming for your essays, don't be scared to just write out whatever. Don't spend weeks upon weeks trying to decide on a perfect idea to write, but rather take a rough idea that you think of and turn that into the perfect essay. Because you're never going to know how an idea will turn out until you actually start writing it. And so what I always tell people is a perfect idea can go bad and a bad idea can become perfect. Also, note that a really great idea can still of course produce a really great essay, but the whole point of this tip is that you shouldn't be scared to try out different ideas. So don't worry about whether your idea is unique enough or whether you're trying to avoid any cliches, because as long as your essay idea is authentic enough to you, that same idea can turn out into one that is unique and outstanding. Tip number 6, supplemental essays can be reused. Supplemental essays will take you the most amount of time to work on when it comes to college applications, And this is especially true if you're applying to many colleges. So by many colleges, I just mean like 10 to 20 or even more than that. And each college will have around 2 to 3 supplemental essays on average, if not more. However, read through each supplemental prompt carefully because some of these prompts can end up blending with other colleges' prompts. And this means that you can reuse some of your essay ideas and have an easier time when it comes to writing. Just don't copy and paste these essays exactly because you want to ensure that every supplemental you write is still unique to that specific college and that specific prompt. Also, when you're writing these supplemental essays, make sure you focus on keywords within the prompt. So keywords such as academic or community. Tip number 7, take advantage of the additional info section. The additional information section is probably one of the most ignored parts of the application because compared to your personal statement, supplemental essays, activity list, and honor section, it may not seem to have as much weight towards your overall application. But if used right, the additional info section can really bring your application to the next level. Your additional info section can be used to, number 1, explain certain situations or disruptions that impacted your grades or extracurriculars. Number 2, add any awards or honors you want to include that you weren't able to fit onto your actual honors section. And number 3, expand upon some of your extracurricular activities or even add new ones. What you shouldn't do, however, is add another whole essay, rewrite information that is already transparent in your application, or badmouth/blame others for certain stuff. Moving on to the next tip, prioritize authenticity over being perfect. The perfect applicant is one with a 4.0 GPA, nationally recognized extracurriculars and awards, and a narrative that is unique and outstanding. But the truth is, this perfect applicant does not exist. Don't chase perfection when making your application, but rather just focus on being you. The reason why I say this is because authenticity is the key to having a quality college application. Because colleges want to see you highlighted as a person, not as an academic weapon. So show colleges the qualities that make up you as a human being, and don't just fake a narrative or try to be someone you aren't, but just be yourself, and doing that simple act will create an application that is unique to only you, and an application that appeals to colleges. Number 9, have a coherent application. You can think of your college application as a puzzle set. Your personal statement, supplemental essays, activity list, all of these are different puzzle pieces, and each part of your application is a separate puzzle piece, but when it is all put together, it should create one clear image. Every part of your application and the information you provide should line up with each other, so there shouldn't be any contradictions in between the different pieces of your puzzle set. And every puzzle piece should fit neatly into one another, so again, don't fake any parts of your application or else you will end up with a puzzle set that has missing pieces. Tip number 10, ask for help when it's needed. Although this seems obvious, lots of people overlook this. I was lucky enough to be part of a college access program called College Match, who helped me through every process of my college application. However, even if you aren't part of some program or have a college counselor, you still have upperclassmen who already have gone through the process of applying to colleges, as well as teachers who are 100% willing to help you out. Everyone is kind enough to help you out, but it all stems just from the simple act of asking for it. And now for the final tip, don't compare yourself with others. There's always that one student with perfect grades, standout test scores, and prestigious national activities and awards. But don't compare yourself to this or else you will end up doubting yourself. Because everyone's application and upbringing is unique, everyone's narrative is different. So don't go onto social media to look at other people's applications and compare yourself with them. Don't go onto Reddit to ask people to validate your application or go looking at successful applicants and their stats. Because it's just not healthy and it definitely should not define your application and your successes up till now. So have confidence in yourself and your journey up till now because anyone can get into a top college so long as you don't doubt yourself. Alright, and that's all I had for you guys. This is just a recap. You guys can look through it for a second. And thank you so much for watching till the end of the video. If you really enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, comment down below, ask any questions you have. And yeah, thank you very much. Please share with friends too. I'd really appreciate it.